We are back with another F1 video for today, man. This is the most dominant car ever. 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 The most dominant F1 car. Potentially, like I said, ever. The McLaren. Throwback. You guys know, probably my favorite car. But is it the most dominant car ever? We are finishing. Shout out to WTF1 as always. And let's get started. I did see that there are no cancellations regarding the Canadian Grand Prix because of the wildfires. For all my subscribers or viewers who are watching this, hope you guys are staying safe. If you guys are affected by the wildfires going on, stay safe. Safety first here, health first as always. But as always, hope you guys are doing good and amazing. Don't forget to like the video and sub as well as always. Let's just start. Let's get it.
Why was the McLaren MP44 the most dominant car of all time? The McLaren MP44 is quite simply the greatest car in the history of Grand Prix racing. With two incredibly quick drivers behind the wheel going by the names of Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, the 1988 Formula One season was completely and utterly dominated by McLaren Honda. Yes, you heard that right. Honda was actually good back in the 80s. Designed by Gordon Murray and Steve Nichols, it secured 15 wins out of the 16 race season. The amount of criticism
15 out of 16? That's freaking dominant. So who was the one guy who won? Golly. Bro, that's over a 9% win rate for McLaren.
Flown around after Red Bull supposedly dominated F1 in early 2010. Imagine what the
Red Bull
1988 season would get today.
Well
However, it was a truly iconic year which kick-started one of the most intense rivalries the sport has ever seen. Senna versus Prost. Two drivers that would do anything to win with a car that was untouchable. But why was it untouchable? What made it such an incredible car? We spoke to chief designer Gordon Murray to dive into their secrets.
Why is this car in particular, why was it so successful?
Well, I think the first thing you have to recognise is whatever car you're talking about, whatever success rate, you need 5 things to win a championship. You need the right chassis, the right driver, the right tyre choice, the right motor, and the right strategy and team. If you have one of those missing, it's difficult to win a race, let alone a season. And for this season, we had Prost and Senna.
Yep.
So that was pretty good. That was a tick in the box. We had, I had a very good relationship with Osamu Goto, who was the engine.
Hey, you know what's crazy? The funny thing is too, like imagine that's that 88 season. Like, you were Ferrari or, Williams or, the other team, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you're coming into a race like, damn, like, we didn't win this race. Like you're already defeated before the freaking first lap even kicks off. Because you already know it's probably going to be Senna or Prost is going to win a race. So the only thing I can do is try to come in P3 or just have a good race. Or if a chance, a small chance, a magical chance, win a race potentially. But that's probably didn't happen. That's really, really unfortunate though. It's like a sense of defeatness already. Going against two of the top drivers in a lot of people's eyes.
Designer for Honda, and they produced a cracking little V6 1.5 litre turbo. So we had that. The tyres weren't so much of a factor because we were all pretty much on the same tyres for that particular year. The team was very good. And then finally, when it came down to the car, I had a pretty clean sheet of paper when I first came to McLaren. And it came directly from the last Brabham I did, which was the B55. Okay. That car was ultra radical because I laid the engine and the driver down very flat. And we had a massive increase in aerodynamic performance, about 15%, which, usually if you got 2 or 3%, you had a public holiday.
Yeah.
So we had 15%. And sure enough, the first test we went to, I think we were a second and a half quicker than anybody else. So we knew again, we also knew from the wind tunnel that it was going to be good. The aerodynamic efficiency, that's lift over drag, was much better. And the downforce was pretty good. It uses the same pull rod front suspension that I first used on the Brabham Alpha BD48. And it just all came together.
So it was more of a combination of the 5 factors you said.
It's exactly that combination, yeah. The other radical thing on the car, which could have let us down, is the transmission, because in lowering the engine that much, the normal split between the 2 gear shafts in the gearbox meant the drive shafts were completely the wrong angle.
This is real life specific, sophisticated stuff.
And
not
that's
really
the
sophisticated, but like real
that
specifics.
could let us down, but actually it ran perfectly
The reliability
the whole
was
season.
amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from the Italian Grand Prix.
Yeah, and that was really, I mean, that was a spark plug failure. It's a shame we didn't get the full score.
Yeah, 15 out of 16. You would have taken that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's funny as well. Like hearing, like seeing, like how specific, like certain cars try to make like a part of their, like, I guess, modifications of the car, like that split extra second or 2 seconds, like, because like what Murray said, you know, I think during like the preseason first test, there was like what, a second and a half faster than everybody else. So they kind of knew off bat, you know, this could be a good year. But I think I've always said regarding like the making of the car, just how specifics. You know, they try to do everything. You know, try to get any little inch they can over their opponent. Which kind of sucks because, you know, when we're going back to that McLaren, the whole issue that they had, and, you know, like guy was like sharing code, stuff like that, like, you know, like sharing like the blueprint, like, come on, man, like, come on, my guy, you know, like, really, like, just leave if you are going to do that, but, like, this car was dominant, man. The MP44.
Definitely,
the first project, the drivers that you had at the time, obviously you said.
But also having great drivers up as well, though.
How much sort of impact did they have in the sort of development of the car and sort of shaping the direction?
In the development of the car, nothing at all. Nothing,
okay.
because we were developing for a brand new engine, changing from the Tag Porsche engine to this. So we just had our heads down in designing brand new cars, so we didn't involve them at all. We did a lot of engine testing with the drivers, so if they had any influence at all, it was over the drivability of the motor, because we put one of these motors in last year's chassis.
So did they know when they first got in the car and first drove it? That this was going to be...
No, it was dynamite from day...
Then you are bad, that's what I'm saying.
Did you think potentially the other teams were maybe sandbagging in testing, or did you think, no, we're actually...
No, we knew. I mean, as soon as I saw the wind tunnel results, I knew we were going to be really quick. And it was the same sort of efficiency gain we got with the Brabham aerodynamically.
The Brabham.
So that's what I was expecting.
So where does that rank?
This is in my top 3 for sure.
Top three.
I would say top 3. I think this one, the 44 and the Brabham BD52, which was the pit stop, the Arrow car, the pit stop, those 3 I would say.
To see it in the flesh.
Look how different that Brabham looks compared to
BD50.
the Brabham looks just more like, I guess, slender. Like, you know, it's more like, you know, like it's wide. It's kind of like a girl who got like plastic surgery. You know what I mean? Like, just hear me out. The top, you know, it's all good. Then, you know, the whole abs and, you know, the rib cage is like all squeezed in, stuff like that. And then like the legs, you know, they look good as well. You know what I mean? But it's just a very, very just slender car design. This Brabham, but it looks good. It looks good. I don't really know too much about it, but still a very, very cool car. Very, very cool car.
Which was the pit stop, the Arrow car, the pit stop, those 3 I would say.
To see it in the flesh was amazing. How many of these models exist in...
I'm just trying to think, I think we built about 6 of these in total.
With a 1.6 litre V6 turbo engine producing somewhere around the region of 700 brake horsepower, the MP44 was unstoppable. Had it not been for a spark plug failure for Prost or a crash for Senna whilst leading the Italian Grand Prix 2 laps from the end, we would have seen the first and only golden season in Formula One. Incredibly,
it may happen this year.
Scored triple the amount of points than Ferrari, who finished second in the constructors' standings that year, whereas unfortunately it seems to be the other way around these days. You can't disagree with the statistics. This is the most dominant car of all time in terms of win percentage, but the Mercedes has come very close with 19 out of 21 wins in 2016. Do you think there was a car that dominated more than the MP44? Let us know in the comments section below.
I think this Red Bull car has the potential to probably be up there as one of the most dominant cars as we have seen. No, obviously those Mercedes cars were good, you know, with fluid stuff like that. But this Red Bull car is something. It's something serious. It's very, very something serious. I mean, that McLaren team, like I said, if it wasn't for the spark plug, stuff like that, they could win every single race. Which just puts me in a position that I feel like Red Bull may potentially do that this year. I know we have, talked about, and like discussed it, but this Red Bull car is freaking dominant. And I think if they do win every single race this year, you gotta put them up there next to his McLaren car and probably other cars as well. You guys will probably let me know about. It's one of the most dominant F1 cars in history. I need like I need something about that car. I need like a little replica, little figure. I need that, dude. That thing is sexy. Oh my god. And just what Mary was talking about, just what they did to, make it so powerful. But like I said, having Prost and Senna 10 times just made it a lot better, I feel. Like, it was already a good car in general, but having those two just made it increasingly better. But you guys let me know your guys' thoughts about that. As always, don't forget to like the video, sub as well. Take care. Stay amazing. Like I said, no race this weekend, so just gonna try continue to drop these F1 videos for you guys. Peace.